Hello, welcome to the Swear Word. I'm your host, Brandon Swear, and this is the place that, regardless of your spice tolerance, this is the place for you. This is a Chili Head podcast by the community, for the community, and hey, we have an amazing show planned here for tonight. We got two products on deck. One of them is a sauce. One of them is a Superhot lolly, and I mentioned that last time, so if you were in last episode, you'll know exactly which ones I'm talking about. Also, we have a guest interview, as well as we have brought back the 5. We're going to run that one back again today, and it should be a fun one. So let's start at episode 30. All right. Hey, hello, Swear Nation. Glad everyone's here. Glad everyone's having fun. I see the chat's already going off and jumping on in there. Hey, once again, this is a live show, so jump on in the chat, be a part of the chat. You got questions for our guest tonight, then by all means, let's send those on in, and we'll get those posted, as well as we have the 5 coming back tonight, so jump in the chat and be a part of that. All right. So up tonight, as I had stated, we have 2 products here from Intensity Academy. We have one sauce, we have Carrot Karma, and we have one of their challenge lollies that they bring out to some of the events that they host. So it is going to be a packed show, and we, as well as, we have Jared Farmer J. Smith in the house as an interview, and I can't wait to dive in on so many wild and crazy topics that I know are going to come up. But also, like I said, we have the 5 coming back. We, crafted some very nice games for Jared here tonight, so this should be pretty fun. But yeah, hey, and if you are new to the channel, definitely want to say thank you for subscribing. I know we've had quite a few that have been joining these last few days. And if you caught me out at Zest Fest, man, it was great seeing y'all, being a part of that. And yeah, I can't wait for it to happen again. Definitely going to be checking out some of those others that are in close proximity as well. But go ahead, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. We're trying to grow the channel, share the channel on YouTube. We'll get that one going. But let's jump on over into Hot or Not. All right. Hey, welcome on into Hot or Not. We are going to take the lollipop, put that one to the side for right now. We are going to jump on into Carrot Karma. So if you watched last episode, we had, we had dove into a few other Intensity Academy's products. So we're going to dive on in tonight to one of their last sauces that I had, and that is Carrot Karma. So if you're new to the channel and you're not familiar with how I do things here, I do a 1 out of 5 scale instead of 1 out of 10. And those are based off of 5 different categories. Those categories are heat, aroma, flavor, versatility, and burn. And for the fact that we have this lollipop, obviously versatility doesn't really buy into that same grading scale. So as with most of our other non-sauce related products, I have substituted versatility for packaging on this one. So even though tonight's graphic will show still versatility in that slot, it will be going down in the record books as presentation. So packaging and presentation. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and dive on in here to the first sauce. Amazing right off the bat. You're getting that savory notes right off the savory and a much fresh initial smell. You know, you're really just not really picking up too much in the realm of the peppers going on here. So definitely interested in seeing this. Nice medium consistency. It's got some body to this sauce. Holds the spoon well. I mean, that's a healthy pour. So let's go ahead and dive on in. Wow. I mean, right off the bat, savory. Taste buds are just going crazy. salivating like wild. This overall, what you're getting here as far as a flavor profile, you're getting that nice body plus that consistency to this sauce is pairing it very well. It lends itself to being a very savory and hearty sauce once you combine those two. And the heat is just a nice little kiss, letting you know it's there. And overall, it's a nice entry-level sauce. And if you are a chili head, this is going to be a nice mild sauce for you. And you're gonna, you'll love this on just about anything that I can tell you right about now. Other than, obviously, I probably wouldn't go on a dessert with this, just being the savory nature to this. It's, man, I'm just salivating like crazy. All right, let me get some stuff written down here. So once again, heat on this. If you are new to the game, you are going to be perfectly fine getting the sauce and being able to use it and not worrying about really burning yourself down. It'll be hot if you're new, but it won't be, killing you by any stretch. If you're a chili head, this is going to be on the mild side. Aroma is very nice on this. I will say, like I said, it has a very savory note, picking up a lot of the carrots right off the bat, not much of the pepper, and overall flavor. You're getting that the flavor and the consistency are hitting right at the same time because of the body on this sauce itself. So it's almost like a hot sauce puree, if you will, with the way the consistency is. And it is giving this savory, rich, smooth, all the way down. And then you're getting that nice note of, habanero coming down this and really kind of lending itself to letting you know it's there, but not really disrupting anything else that you have going on. So let me get this flavor and versatility. And then burn. Let's talk burn. So overall on this one, you're really only getting a little bit of a mouth burn, a little bit into the back of the tongue area, not so much on the front of the tongue. It's not lingering too long. It does fizzle out rather quick, but you're left with this amazing taste that is just, making you want to dive back in. So a very, very captivating bottle in the sense of the flavor that it's able to deliver. So get that burn jotted down. Once again, if you're new, it's not really going to destroy you. It's going to be just enough to let you know, like, don't overdo if you're brand new. If you're a chili head, it's gonna be very mild. I could see myself using this on a lot of sandwiches as well as burritos in the morning. So let me dive on in with this and hand it over to producer Jeff. All right, so while he is inputting that, we're going to go ahead and get some ingredients read off. So another thing I like to do if you are new to the channel is I don't like to take a look at the ingredients or anything going on with the sauce outside of obviously visually getting the front of that label and seeing that color of the sauce, because I don't want it to, throw thoughts in my mind as far as what I'm thinking and how I'm feeling about it. So we'll dive in here and read these ingredients. So ingredients on this, we have carrots, onion, habanero peppers, vinegar, garlic, lime juice, and all natural spices. So this sauce is all natural, and it is a carrot-based hot sauce. So that's where you're getting that great color from and that same consistency that's given that heartiness factor to this sauce. So let's see here. It says carrot karma hot has never been so good for your soul. It says carrot karma is an all-natural carrot-based hot sauce with a unique depth of flavor created for your soul. Through the perfect karma of our good foods, one meets the perfect guru whose taste is intense. All right. So this is, once again, an all-natural sauce and carrot-based. All right. Let's get these on in here and input. We have heat coming in at 3.0, aroma at 3.9, flavor at 4, versatility at 3.8, and burn at 2.75 for a total swear word rating of 3.49. It's a very tasty sauce. Highly recommend checking that out. And let's go ahead and jump on into this sucker. So obviously, the sucker at the festival, when it's done, is done in a manner that it is consumed and until it's complete, or you let go, tap out, whatever you want to call it. But since obviously we have other things to do, this is going to be more of a taste test, if you will. So let me get this thing opened up. You know, nice, clean packaging going on here. Very well put together. Bag inside of a bag, so it's not sticking to the original packaging. And man, you can see bits of little specks of powder and looks like seeds along the way too. So let me get this thing opened up. All right. So let's take a look here so I can get this presentation of the overall product itself. Yep, once again, you can see nice specks of powder in there. It's very dark, kind of glossy. It looks like a very hard lolly instead of, say, like a softer one. So let's see how this one goes. Okay, so right off the bat, just to be able to talk clearly, right off the bat, you're getting a nice, sweet, inviting initial, and then you start to have the pepper roll in, let you know it's there. It's got a very, here, hold on. It's got a very unique initial taste that kind of makes me feel as well that it would be extract. I think that's what she was alluding to last episode, but we'll see. I'll definitely say there is powder in there, because as I try to get into the sucker itself, you're getting a little bit of the granulars going on. I can see visually the seed in there. So I believe that is a seed. Yeah, that's a seed. And you know, you're picking up more of the heat. The other side, the side that you can't see the stick, so I would assume it was poured and laid in there. The side facing the bottom of the mold has a much more clear, clean, smooth side, as to where the other side, you have a lot of that initial powder, etc., easily accessible. So let's talk heat. Obviously, if you're new to eating spicy, do not just jump on into this. This would be someone that is a chili head, has started their journey, wanting to test their boundaries. And, you know, I wouldn't just recommend it to someone that's just starting out and they're like, oh, a lollipop, that sounds, you know, inviting for me. You would be sadly mistaken on this one. This one packs a nice punch. It's letting you know that it's there. It's not too bad. It's mostly just gravitating around the lips, the tongue, the roof of the mouth. So basically everywhere that the lollipop has kind of come into contact, as to be expected. I'm sure as I consume more, I'll feel it a little bit more in the back of the throat. But let's go ahead and jot down some heat. All right, now we're going to talk aroma. I mean, you can smell it. It does have much more of that. I mean, it smells like straight peppers, and it kind of has that extract smell a little bit to it as well. So curious to know if that's actually the case. Obviously, there's no ingredients on this, so won't fully know until I reach back out. But heat, we'll go ahead and put that. Okay, aroma. All right, and then flavor. You know, flavor on this, it is very pepper forward. like I said, it does kind of have a extract taste. So with that in mind, do you like extract? If you like a very pepper forward product, this is gonna be a lot more inviting to you. So let's get that opened up. And let's dive into packaging. Okay, so packaging and presentation. I think they did a pretty good job here. So let's get that jotted down. Okay, and then burn on this one. You know, you're getting it. Got my nose running. There we go. You're getting a little bit, you know, of a consistent burn right where it's sat. Not too much really in the back of the throat. I assume as I consume more, it would. But overall, you know, you're not really, you're affected where it hits you. We'll put it that way. So the burn on this, not too bad. It's about the same level as the heat. It's lingering longer. So go ahead and get that jotted down. And we'll hand this on over. And while that gets input, enjoy a little bit more of this here sucker. And, well, I guess since we don't have anything to read off, what I'll do is I'll take a look here in the chat and say hello to some folks. So it looks like we got Matt, we got Jaws, we got Broken Charlie, we got Ethan. Let's take a look. Oh, we got Sean. How's it going? Heat. All things chili. Got Miguel. Hey, Miguel. Glad to see you. Let's see. Midge. How's it going, man? Dean. Well, man, we have quite an active chat going on here. Okay. Nice to see everyone there, and hope everyone is enjoying this. It's going to be definitely a fun interview here in a second, and fun game to finish it out. All right, let's read off the inputs. So heat 3.7. We got aroma at 3.3. Flavor at 3.4. Packaging presentation at 4. And then burn at 3.7. For total swear word rating at 3.62. All right. We you know, you can't get these currently unless you're participating at one of these events. But last time they were on, they said they were going to be potentially opening that up here soon. So we'll have the links for everything down below for Intensity Academy hot sauces, and you can definitely pick that up and check it on out. But let's go ahead and get on into the interview. Hey, Farmer Jay, how's it going?
What's up, Chris? How's it going, buddy?
Man, doing good. It has been a wild weekend for me. I know that we were talking earlier. It looks like you had quite a few things going on with the family from what I had seen socials. And how was first of all, how was your Memorial Day?
Dude, Memorial Day weekend was a blast. I got out there, started weeding the garden. I got about 10 minutes into it and told my wife, I said, that looks like a good shade tree over there. We went and sat underneath the shade tree for the rest of the afternoon.
There we go.
So we did that until about dinner time. Then we went to my boss's house, had a fish fry, rode around on the side-by-side, kind of took some back roads a little bit down to the creek. Just a nice chill afternoon.
Okay. No, that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, on Monday we did some low key family stuff and enjoyed ourselves, but it was interesting out at Zest Fest to meet everyone and all the new faces, all the old friends, and have a lot of fun there. So Memorial Weekend was definitely a home run this year. So all right, well, hey, we'll kind of touch on a few things first. I guess first and foremost, we were talking about this beforehand, and I actually recall you, like I said before, a lot earlier than say I, do now. if you will, or when I think I would have met you, had everything else lined up. But the Bat and Bear show back in those days was really kind of back in the days whenever I first saw your name bouncing around and got to know you a little bit. And man, it's been a wild time from then till now. I mean, the growth in the community and size and everything that they're doing. I mean, the amount of groups obviously just continuously doubles, but that's kind of a, I don't know, that's a whole nother topic. But yeah, no, so you've been very active with challenges and pod competitions and everything in between. Now, I mean, you also have a sauce line, and you have that one going. I've also noticed that recently you made an announcement that you were kind of looking at stepping back or slowing down, if you will, on the amount of challenges that you're going to take on. What was going on with that?
100%. So right now that I'm able to bottle my sauce and sell it within Arkansas state lines. Okay, so in 2020 during COVID, they gave Arkansas an exemption. A lot of small businesses were closing. A lot of people couldn't make money, so they gave us an acidic food clause in our cottage law, and so that means that I can sell all my hot sauce within state lines under cottage law. Sorry, I'm a little bit hoarse. I'm battling some allergy stuff, but so I can sell in Arkansas. So my goal, my 8th month goal currently right now is to get my aesthetic food license, get my FDA approval, and then be nationwide in the next.
Very nice, very nice. It's
So all I've done is swap my focus just a little bit, but to better my future.
Absolutely. No, it makes 100% like sense to focus on that. And definitely, while things are in a period of, not being able to, or having to be able to grow and expand your business, and having that be top of mind seems a lot more pertinent as well. I only ask that because, man, I've seen so many times, not only in the videos that you're in, whether that be on stage, like the last battle that I saw you at the pod competition with Matt, just kind of cheering on and being that good motivation, right? But
Yeah.
also in some of the other groups like Cap Crew, and seeing you jump in other people's, do other people doing a challenge, and the way that you motivate and cheer on, man, there is nobody else I would want in my corner cheering me on than the way that you give your energy and determination to make sure that person gets through it.
I always think of it as storming the beaches Normandy, and everybody made sure that their partner got through, or at least tried to make them get through. I want to get with every person at the finish line. Now, does it come down to a speed eating round, or does Jason Pettibone spew his guts? That's on him. That's between his body and his fortitude and his stomach. But until he's throwing up next to me, I'm putting a pod in his hand and it's let's go. Yeah, we're storming the beaches together. That's what we're doing.
Very nice. Yeah, no, it's very encouraging to see and to watch and to witness. And I know there's been a few times where I've gone into something and I'm like, I remember I play back that commentary of seeing you interact with others online and seeing you cheering people on stage, and I'm just like, that's what I need to recall to really push through this. But okay, well. So let's talk. I guess let's rewind from there. Let's take a look into what got you into eating spicy food and what really catapulted you to, say, the more extreme level.
All right. So back when I first decided I wanted to grow peppers, it was 2018, and I did like most people did. I went online and bought some ghost pepper seeds off of eBay, Etsy, something along those lines back then. Well, I get these seeds and I plant them just like you would plant a normal garden, just like you'd plant corn, cucumbers, or whatever it may be, but they didn't sprout. So I'm like, well, I've got to find out what I did wrong. What did I do wrong? So I did like everybody else usually does. I go on Facebook, type in peppers. Excuse me. I found PLC. and that's where I met Matt Hooker, Batman, um, uh, Aaron Hernandez, Ethan Rivera, Nick Paris, Timothy Keller, Bam Lawler. I know you know all these names as I'm spitting them, Brandon, because
Yeah,
you've been
yeah.
around back then too. So I found all these people, and I just asked advice, and they're like, "Oh man, you're doing it wrong. You gotta put those on a heating pad. You gotta put them in a seed tray." So I found PLC, and I'm like, "These are my people." It was almost like you found all the bad kids and put them in a place together, and then it's almost like they jive together. Does that make sense?
Yep, yep,
Like you found all the black sheep,
yep.
and this is where they were. So it's like, this is my people. Okay, so befriended Nanti Ha, which is, I called him Mr. Haha. It seemed to catch on like wildfire, and he knows him as Mr. Haha. Ethan Rivera, one of my best friends to this day. Met him. He worked night shift as a 911 dispatcher, so I ran night shift at work. Hooked up with him. So planted my garden. My first year, I planted ghost peppers. Then I found Jimmy Pickles, and I'm like, "Oh, there's people who sell these seeds." And he was like, "Oh yeah, you buy 2 varieties, I'll send you 3 free." And I'm like, well, "What if I buy 15 varieties? What if I buy 20 varieties?" So my first year growing exotic super hots, I had 79 varieties.
Very nice.
So I think that we all bite off a little more than we can chew. Um, I do things a little bit different in my garden than a lot of people do, but it works for me. I live on a mountain, so therefore, if you go half an inch into my soil, it's rocks, literally rocks. So I grow above ground, but I've found out that growing in tires works better for me, because if you think about it, when it rains, what happens to a tire? Okay,
Yeah,
that you can't ever get all that water out of that tire,
yeah. No,
ever. So exactly. So I live in Arkansas, which is a very, very humid, high heat, just like Texas. Okay, so if I grow in buckets, I'm watering 2, 3 times a day. If I
hmm,
grow in tires, I can only have to water like once a week, because that tire holds that moisture the whole time. So it works better for me. So I grow in tires above ground. Um, but getting into the extreme spice, so I would grow these things, and I remember my first ripe pepper was a Black Panther, and I'm sitting there in my garden, and I'm like, it can't be too bad, right? So I bite this thing, and I'm like, okay, that sucks. Like that sucks bad. But how long can I go without something to drink? Can I go 30 seconds? Can I go a minute? And I went like 2.5 minutes, and I went in there and guzzled like half a gallon of milk, just like, I'm dying, right? And so I grabbed some. I started growing some dulce peppers, a sweet pepper. Okay, so I bring my wife out there, and I'm like, "Hey, baby, I grew some sweet peppers. Will you eat one with me?" She's like, "Yeah," but I had accidentally mislabeled my peppers because, of course, I'm new. Tags get mixed up. I fed my wife a 7 pot brown,
oh
and
no.
I can't. We eat this thing at the same time, and she's like, "I really don't think you're gonna make it through the night. I'm gonna kill you." So totally wrecked her.
Oh man, that's
But
hilarious.
so that's how I started just challenging myself, and then my wife's, follow me now. It's Arkansas. My wife's niece was up for Thanksgiving, and her husband was there, and he's like, "Have you tried the Pocky One Chip Challenge?" He's like, "It absolutely killed me." And I'm like, "No, I no." He said, I'll mail you one." And you kind of just shrug it off like, "No, you're not. You just say you're going to." And sure enough, the next week it showed up in the mail. He's like, "Just go live on Facebook with," excuse me. So I eat the ship, and it totally lights me up. But I fell in love. I fell in love. I came for the burn. I fell in love with the community. I stayed for the people. Um, I found out along the lines that eating spicy foods and challenging myself makes me a better person. And this is why. Before I was really high energy, I just kind of went on everything as a whim. A lot of people can probably pretty much understand that, and they're probably the same way. What peppers has done to me has made me mentally stronger. I can burn and I burn because it makes my life easier. It's mentally hard.
Yep.
So I became controlling of my own mind. I was able to calm myself under pressure. I almost think of it as like maybe a Navy SEAL at Hell Week.
Hmm.
And that's what they're doing. They're getting hardened, and it's a totally different situation. Hats off to Marines; they're amazing people. But it's the same idea and concept, just in a different way. Because you have to be you have to be in charge of your own mind to burn.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And to that point, I feel like that's the same reason, like the same parallels, if you will, as to why there's a lot of people that the first thing they do when they wake up is they go work out or they go straight to an ice plunge. Like you'll hear Rogan always talk about how he starts his day with his ice plunge, and it's one of those things that you get the hard part out of the way early on, and mentally you're clear for the rest of the day to take on everything else, and it seems minor. So it's
Exactly it.
definitely a thought process behind that method to the madness. But okay, that's I mean that's pretty cool. I'm definitely getting behind that. And how did that first one chip challenge go for you?
It got me to like a 9 or a 10, but I was able to conquer it. I think I went 10, 15 minutes without something to drink, and mainly just got something to drink later just to get that taste out of my mouth because I loved the feeling that it gave me. And like I said, I came for the burn, fell in love with the community, and I found the Taco Loco Challenge. And if y'all remember that, the first year it came out, it was before it was a black box,
Hmm.
and I came home from church on a Sunday, and I had nothing to eat all morning long because if you have kids, you don't eat until after they eat, and
Yep.
sometimes you're racing against the schedule, and then you're like, I forgot to eat. So I came home from church, and I'm like, hey, babe, I think I'm gonna eat this. She's like, okay, and of course. I don't do this for the gram. I don't do it for the likes or whatever. So I just grab this bar, pick it up, eat it. About 10 minutes later, the sweats kicked in, and then cap cramps. This is
Yeah.
my first experience with cap cramps. I go lay in my bed and I cuddle up into a ball and I'm profusely sweating. I can feel my temperature rising, my heart rate's high. And I told my wife, I said, get on your dead gum phone and figure out why I'm dying. I said, I think I'm dying. And she got on the phone. She said, you're having what's called capsaicin cramps. I said, well, they need to really go away really quickly. But as you notice with chocolate challenges, challenges and team cramps go away pretty quickly. I mean, let's just
Hmm.
be honest. If you've been in this game a long time, the chocolate cramps normally. No, I'm not talking about like a Nemesis bar. I'm talking about like a small square of chocolate. You can get through them pretty quick, and there's an hour or two, and you're done. So this lasts about 20 minutes. But that was my first experience with some cap cramps.
Okay.
Fun times.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's I can't really say much to that because there's often times where I'll enter something that I know that I should have ate beforehand, but even to this day, I still don't eat beforehand, or I eat something that's so minor it might as well not have been anything, and ultimately I pay the price later on. But for some reason, I have a bit of a freak of nature in the sense that I can eat it and then I don't feel the effects until like 4, 5, maybe even 7 hours later, and then that's whenever the waves of cramps hit. But yeah, well, hey, live and learn, and it sets you up and got you to where you are today. Okay, we'll we'll kind of we'll jump from that because I mean I feel like that's a good segue into really discussing different challenges and different highlight moments that you can reflect on that were like monumental moments in your mind as far as being within your chilihead career. What was the obviously that's being the first one, clearly because it set you off into cap cramps. So now you had that mile marker in the mind of what cap cramps were. But what was kind of one of the next ones, whether that be a really good event or really bad?
I can tell you several. So, y'all remember when Steve and Michelle Berlant got the Moab collab, and that was their first round of three challenges of a release, and they released the Moab collab, and the one, and the Crunchy. Okay. The Moab collab, I ate that with a group of 6 people on a podcast, live stream. And I spent the next probably 8 hours laying on my front porch in 25-degree weather in my boxers, dry heaving off my porch. Um, that one almost sent me into retirement. I can also remember when I ate 60 Rummy Bears when that came out, and I had calf cramps for like 18 hours. That was my first experience with heavy extract. That was a really memorable experience and a fun one. Another highlight was my first time going on the road and doing a pepper contest in another state and going to Zest Fest. What year was it? 2022, October 1st, 2022, Zest Fest. And that was my first on the road eating peppers experience. And I think that's when I really fell in love with the concept of going on the road and going to these festivals, whether you're eating chilies or not. Being able to go to a pepper festival, meeting your internet friends and your other friends in real life, that just brings your whole world close and together. And to hug somebody that you've talked to on the internet for 5 years and solidify that bond is probably one of the most rewarding moments in a chili head's life.
Yeah.
100% really is. Um, when I met Nanti Ha, Mr. Ha Ha, Eric Midge, Zachary Goots, and his beautiful wife Anna, and all these people, um, it just solidified a bond and completed my circle. And like I said to you earlier, that you come here for the burn and you always stay for the people. Yeah, you love the burn and you enjoy it. And whether you're eating hot sauce or dropping a Rabia tincture or something like that, yeah, you enjoy that. But completing your circle as a chili head is absolutely amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it is one of those things that, I always mention on here as well, the camaraderie, the brotherhood, everything that's formed in here, the positivity is flowing and it is flowing all around you. It is unfortunate that there are certain outliers that kind of disrupt that positivity and really try to bring some darkness to the overall community. But hey, as long as you are strong-minded and strong-willed, and you keep your head out of that filth, you're perfectly fine. I mean, I would say that the overall community is growing and more alive than ever. And it's a beautiful thing to see all these new people that have, either found League of Fire or anything, just joined online socials that obviously a lot of us are a part of, and to see them there for the first time and start to connect and experience what we've been experiencing for the last few years, it's great.
Yeah,
So yeah, no, definitely. Okay.
100%. You also asked, added a little bit to that last question, and you asked about the negative, but also some of the positive, and I'm gonna leave off with another positive. I'd have to say my best showing when Johnny hosted the Pantheon pepper eating competition and for Hulu. And yeah, we knew that was going to be a shot for Hulu. We were well aware of that going into the competition. And the reason why that was a historical moment from me was I hadn't been doing anything to prep. And I know I'm supposed to fly out on Friday to North Carolina. I get a message Wednesday night from Shiana, and she says, "By the way, you're going to be in a pepper eating competition." And I'm like, and I haven't eaten a pod in like this is December. That was December 1st, so this would be November 27th, 28th. I get this message, guys. We're in the middle of winter. I haven't eaten a pod since October 1st at Zest Fest, and I'm like, what do I do? And I take on Grit or Rhett Griffin on a tuba terror speed eating. And I'm just like, I don't know how I'm gonna even do this, right? I haven't eaten a pod. I got up on that stage and I remember KTB Saucy's husband Will. He had these shoes on, and y'all know what I'm talking about. It's each toe has an individual deal, and they're multicolored. And I sat down at that table, and I had KTB here on my right, and then I had Rhett and I can't recall exactly to my left. I apologize. Um, but we got into start eating pods, and I looked at Will's shoes, and I just looked at his shoes. That's all I did the whole competition, all the way through, and just went as far as I could. I put myself in a complete another body. I wasn't even hardly burning, and I'd have to say that that's my best showing to date.
Okay, very nice. Is that something you find yourself doing pretty frequently? Is always just trying to find one place to like zen out, if you will?
I think I say honestly that's a really objective question. I think it all depends on the surroundings and what's going on at that time. There's been situations where I've been in that moment and I'm just like, I'm
Yeah,
like, let's get that pepper down. Like, let's
yeah,
go, let's
yeah.
go, let's go. And then there's been other moments where I was able to put myself somewhere else and get through that moment. It all depends on what's going on, my surroundings, who I'm around, what I'm doing. Am I in a battle against myself? Am I going against casually roasting in freaking Texas, going pod for pod, dying with him, watching this 2 foot piece of snot hang from his nose? What are we doing? Like, what's happening? It all depends on the moment. Do
Yeah.
I've got to think about the person on my right? Is KTB about to tap out? What is she saying to me? What's happening? What are we going to do? So I think it's really objective. I think it depends on the moment.
Okay, okay. I only ask because I'm ultimately I am lactose intolerant, so milk is out of the question for me. So that's always been one of the things I feel like has always worked it in my favor. Is I've never really gone for the milk relief. So it's one of those things you don't know what you don't have until you try it. So you never really wanted to experience that per se, because I know how it does me. But I often find myself trying to mentally position myself somewhere else and just focus on controlled breathing to really guide me through the struggles that is the challenge at hand. So
Right.
hey, we have quite a few people jumping in the chat. I want to say thanks to everyone that's jumping on in there. If y'all have any questions, by all means, fire those away, and we'll get those pulled up. Let's see, Jeff, do we have anything currently? Okay. So we will grab some questions, and hey, once again, it has been wild. But let's dive on into really alpha and omega and talk overall sauce. So, what is alpha omega, and how did it get started, and what do y'all currently have as an offering? Obviously, it's predominantly in Arkansas at the moment.
Right. So Alpha and Omega is my baby, and of course, when I got all right, so you go out there and you're growing 79 varieties and you're picking all these pods and you realize that you can only eat one pod at a time and you burn for like 2 hours. So what are we going to do? Not literally. We all know figuratively. What are we going to do with all these pods? Well, let's make a hot sauce, right? Why not? You have the option to pickle, to can them, to make a hot sauce, to make a powder, to make a tincture, which I didn't know what a tincture was at this moment. So we're going to continue on. So I decided to make hot sauce. Okay, so you make some hot sauce and then just stereotypical, just like everybody else does. Hey, try my hot sauce, and your friends love it. Okay, so what can I do with this sauce? How can I allow it to be available to my friends? And then you start selling a little bottle here and there to your friends, making $5, $10, and it's like, okay, cool. Well, maybe I can sell to some of my online pepper friends. So you start doing that a little bit, and I can tell you that just about everybody I know has gone down this road, and then they run into a wall, and it's, are you federally regulated? No, I'm not federally regulated. What does it take? Well, about a year and $10,000. That's what it takes. And I'll break it down to anybody who's thinking about starting a sauce company. It takes time and about $10,000. And it takes filing paperwork, taking food safety classes, acidic food courses, um, getting a commercial kitchen or renting a space, and then having the federal government come and regulate you. That's a quick rundown, but it's about $10,000 in about a year's time. Um, so I backed off. Um, I'm not going to say luckily COVID hit because that was a very, very hard time in our country. I'm going to say this. I'm thankful for the things that arose to allow me to bottle and sell my sauce within Arkansas under cottage law, which I think that if anybody that has taken a food serve safe class or anything like that, knows pHs, knows how to deal with acidic foods, I don't mind trying your sauce. What kills me is the people that come in and try to make like a bathtub sauce, and you're like, "Hey, what's the pH on this?" And they're like, "What's pH?" And you're like, "And that's gonna blow up." So Alpha and Omega was my first introduction, and I came out. Alpha and Omega, of course, means beginning and the end. Anybody who's knowing of Scripture knows what that means. I was a Sunday school teacher at that time in my life, and I thought it would be really significant if I involved my God into my brand. So Alpha and Omega Hot Sauce was born, and I had Ethan Rivera draw me up a logo, and I started printing stickers out on my cool $30 printer and slapping them on. Um, you soon find out that once you wash those bottles, that label comes directly off. But I started bottling like that and slinging here and there to friends here in Arkansas. Was able to hook up with Ryan Thomas and become really, really good friends with Ryan. He showed me a lot of tips on how to cook, how to bottle, how to go with a professional look. And a lot of people will say that the bottle appearance isn't a lot for him, but that's everything. If a hot sauce, if the way the rules go, you eat with your eyes first on everything. Everything you eat with your eyes first. So if you're scanning those bottles, you're gonna go to what's appealing to you. To me, an appealing bottle logo is usually like blacks and reds and very clean lines, not a lot of fire. And I don't buy into the Ass Blaster 2.0 or anything like that. I want clean lines. I want something that says small batch. I want to see that it's a craft sauce. That's what attracts my eyes. And also, I want to look at the ingredients. And if the first ingredient's either water or vinegar, and 9 times out of 10, I'll put it back. And that's just personal preference. So Ethan Rivera designed my label, and when I decided to go commercial, and Dustin Johnson took my logo and made me some really cool labels. We have a soy sauce that got real popular in 2020. It's called Seven Pot Soy. Every time that I would have a batch of that, it would be gone within 35 minutes, and people really enjoyed it. So that was the first sauce that we chose to go commercial with, and now we're into restaurants. We're in the Mercantile Asian restaurant called Fried Rice and More, and that we're also helping them design a spicy food challenge. Like I kind of told you before in our pre-chat, my plan is to be completely federally regulated within the next year. So that's the future. We also have a Bayou Verde, which is a Cajun-inspired Verde sauce. Creep and Reaper, which was one of our initial sauces in 2019. We do a Creamsicle Dreaming, which is a dessert sauce with creams, oranges and vanilla and sugar, and it goes on ice cream. Wonderful.
Wow.
We have Love Potion number 10, which is a strawberry dessert sauce. It's kind of the same realm as the orange sauce. Those are just to name a few, but the soy sauce and the Cajun Verde sauce are my absolute favorites.
Okay. They all sound amazing, but I'm also picking up, a nice trend here. It doesn't sound like you go for, as you said earlier too, you don't go for the traditional like everyone else is doing. You're trying to think a little bit, outside of what the norm is per se. So with having the soy and with having that verde, and then having those two dessert sauces, I mean, not too many people cater towards a dessert sauce per se. So that's definitely pretty cool. Looks like we do have some questions here, so let's grab some of those before we jump on into the game. All right, so from Matt, we have, what are you most looking forward to in the next phase of your chili head season?
So when I saw that question popped up, I really analyzed it. And Matt and I know each other in person, so this answer will not surprise him. Matt, my what I'm looking forward to is finding a balance between my public job, my personal job, and my farm, and to be in a complete mind where I can focus on God, giving back to Him what I've reaped, and being able to balance my work and personal life.
Amen. Amen. That's a great one. Let's see. I'll get one or two more. So from Troy, it says, how many types of peppers does Farmer Jay have in the farm now?
This year we have right now 200 plants going. I would say a rough estimate of varieties would be 32 to 40. And the reason I could do all these varieties and have all these different flavors and stuff, but as a sauce maker, you really want to focus on the 5 or 6 peppers you really like to use and grow an abundance of those. If you want something exotic, you could always reach out to Jacob Deathridge or Matt Stewart over at Dry Fork Farms or something like that to get a little something more exotic out.
All right. All right. Very nice. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense if you're in a production stage of your life and you're really trying to make sure you have enough product on hand for those. Grab this next one from Sean. Farmer Jay, why are you not a burly guy? That was a great thing for anyone that missed that today.
I want to say the number one answer, or reason why I'm not a burly guy, is I'm 30% Cherokee Indian. Because so if I lift up my shirt right now, you're going to be able to count my hairs on one finger.
Okay. Okay. There we go. Oh man. Okay. What we'll do is we'll go ahead and jump on into we'll jump on into the game from there, and then we of course have the
Oh,
nugget of
game.
knowledge still. So let's jump into the game.
I like game.
All right, this game is called The Five. For anyone that watched
Five.
last episode, The Five was in there. It was strong, and we are going to run it back now, obviously with a new setup. So these are just 5 images, and you have to rank them. First up, Killer Queen.
The one being the best, five being the worst.
It's whatever you want.
Shiana, she's beautiful, graceful. I'm not even really thinking about the product just so much as the inspiration behind it. I'll go number one
Okay,
because of her heart.
there we go. Number 1. Shrink it down. Okay, there we go. All right, Tuba Terror. This is version 1.
Tuba love Chupaterra. It was my first chili multiple. Ate 2 tubes with Heathen Raider. Had a great burn. Also ate a speed tube of it before I battled Shiana. I'm going to put it at number 2. It's a big part of my life.
Okay. And then let's get the next one up there. So I have this one up here. This is just to suffice as a pod competition. So I'm just showing pods for resembling that.
So are we going to go with colors? Or are we just going to say where do I like pods on that list?
Yeah. Just it's completely your list. It could be,
Pods number
yeah.
5. Pods are the grossest thing I ever put in my mouth.
There we go. There we go. All right. This is the version 2 of the Chug Challenge.
Version 2 Chug Challenge. I was the first person to ever do this challenge naked. I'll put it number 3.
There we go.
I chugged a bottle of this naked with Farmer J pasties on, with completely in the buff, and just for some shenanigans. It was a
There,
fun time. If you go to my League of Fire profile, you can watch that video.
very nice, very nice. And then this one, I just took a picture of a tincture, and this is to represent a bottle dump. So I guess this inherently has to be number four.
Tincture is amazing as far as prep goes, keeping your tolerance up. Pod forward tinks, I'm not a big fan of, and it's just because I'm not into the floral taste of peppers. I don't like that aspect of them. Uh, Give me a nice sweet potato any day of the week, a Brazilian starfish, and stuff it with cream cheese, wrap it with bacon, put it on the smoker, and I'm down. You give me a super hot. Majority of them are gross, and anybody can battle me anytime they want and tell me that they like pods better than hot sauce, and I'll call them a liar.
There we go. There we go. All right. So in this scenario, one was number one in your mind, and number five was number five, and not vice versa. Correct.
One more time. Yeah, one would be the greatest son. And
All right.
basically, I just went into different aspects of my life. Shiana, great inspiration, huge heart. Tubatera, big part of my life. Number three, shenanigans for fun. Tincture for tolerance building. To enjoy what they bring together as a whole for the community.
All right. We're we gonna okay. All right, we're gonna run it back. We got another one with a different setup. This one's gonna be non-pepper related, but it should be fun. So not gonna give away anything further than that until we can get into this. But first up, we have old Britney Spears.
Freaking love you, baby. I love Britney Spears. If you've listened to me in my car any day of the week, going just driving on the road, adore Britney Spears. Always going to be a big part of my childhood. She came out when I was 15, 16, the procreant age. Britney in the school uniform. Yeah, always going to have my heart. Beautiful singer, beautiful person.
There we
I'll
go.
put her as number two right now to see what's going on.
Okay, number two. Very safe play. Eminem.
Eminem. Eminem, also a very big part of my early childhood. Especially, he went through some drama with his mom and things like that, and so did I. I'll put him as number three.
Number three. All right. There's someone here that obviously have popped up because of hearing what you've heard or heard you play in the background of some of your videos. So
Yeah,
Coolio.
that's Coolio. Coolio, "Gangsta's Paradise" is a wonderful song. I can't really relate because I didn't grow up in a situation like that. I do like Coolio though. I'll put him as number four.
All right. So then we have Creed.
Creed, like anybody would say, another stronghold in that early 2000s of genre. Put them as number five though in that lineup.
Okay. All right. I think you made a very safe choice. And then we have and the drum roll is Dr. Dre.
Uh, Dr. Dre, yeah, no, Dr. Dre's number one. Dr. Dre has been one of the most influential music producers of all time, along with Ice Cube. Dr. Dre is always be number one because I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for number one, then number four and number three wouldn't be where they're at.
Yep. Yep. Definitely. No, that was a solid lineup and very well played. I was kind of hoping that the things are shifted and then somehow Dre would have to manage to be number five, and then obviously then there's a travesty going on here.
Yeah, yeah, we can't have that. I like that game though. What's funny is that about that is a lot of people won't give in that they like the '90s pop or the early 2000s pop or anything like that. But you got to give credit where credit's due. Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, they all made wave for the music we have now. And if you honestly, if those songs come on your radio and nobody's around, you're 100% jamming out to that song without a doubt.
It's funny you say that too, because when building the announcement clips for this show, obviously I was going through and knowing your general music selection. I almost made "Backstreet's Back" as the running song for us coming on the show.
Yeah. You also did go back to an Aha song, "Take Me On," is what you ended up choosing, which is also another one of my favorite songs.
Yep, yep. Okay, okay.
That's
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed the games. I hope everyone else enjoyed the games and got to play along. It looks like the chat was having some fun with that as well. And hey, we have a few things to roll out. Of course, the nugget of knowledge. This case, I can give you two options here. So since you're kind of in two different major verticals, if you will, you have the competitive eating side of things in the spicy world, and you also have a product that you're bringing to market. So a nugget of knowledge that you would like to leave for somebody that is starting their journey on either of those paths. Just pick one of them, and we'll use this as a nugget of knowledge moment.
Keep honest criticism always at your fingertips, because the people that are giving your honest criticism are the people that you want closest to you. Don't let your pride get in the way of accepting criticism.
Absolutely.
And always remember that if one of us wins, we all win every daggum time. If you're jealous of what somebody is out there doing, then you really, really need to rethink your life and make people jealous of you. Go do something good. You don't have time to be envious or jealous. If you got time to sit there and be mad at your phone because you're envious or jealous of somebody, then you get up, put your phone down, go do something else. Get time for that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Very well said there. Okay. So at this point, what we'll do is we'll have you let everyone know where they can find you. And obviously, this will also apply to those that are just audio listeners on Apple Podcasts.
You can find me at Alpha and Omega Hot Sauce on Facebook. I got an Instagram too. It's Farmers Age 1012, but I don't check that. So if you message me on that, it might be 2026 before I get back to you over there. And then you can find me, because I'm old, on Facebook, and I'm on there every day talking to my pepper peeps. So you can always find me there.
All right. There we go. There we go. The last but not least, we have the hot seat nomination. So who are you putting on the hot seat?
So I'm in a conundrum.
Okay.
Very big conundrum. I have two, and that's okay. I'm gonna go out with two.
Yep.
And I have more, but these are two that I don't know that have been on here, and I want to say they have a lot to bring to your show, and I'm gonna say Jaws and Ethan Rivera,
Okay.
and I want to say those are two people who know where their heart's at. They know themselves in and out. They're not guessing to where they're going to be in life. They're not going to. They're going to bring nothing but love to this show, and that's what I want to see. That's
Absolutely.
why I picked them.
That's two amazing picks. Can't wait to have them on. I will be reaching out to you, Jaws and Ethan, and we'll get a time set up to have y'all on the show. And hey, it was awesome having you on. Obviously, there's still a lot that we could go into, and we didn't have a chance to get into. But I think playing the games was a nice way to round out our discussion tonight. So definitely looking forward to having you back on, and talking to you more, and hey, making that official announcement right here on the swear word when you are able to go nationwide. I think that would be pretty
We'll
cool.
do it.
There we go. All
And
right.
we gotta get you some soy over there.
Oh yeah, yeah. Let's get that. Let's get that rated. But yeah, hey, it was an amazing show. So glad to have Farmer Jay on and be able to dive in and learn from many facets of life, whether that be his journey into eating spicy, as well as his saga with getting into production of making hot sauce. and hearing about his inspirational journey into where he's taking this as a nationwide thing here soon. So hey, thank you all for being a part of this show and being active in the chat. It was an amazing time to see all the comments fly by. I know some of y'all are trying to deliberately trip me up with some laughs, but you know what? Got to hold strong, got to stay focused. But hey, thank y'all once again. Please share, like, subscribe, all the things. We're trying to grow on YouTube, get it out there more. Also, if you're trying to find the first drops of upcoming guests as well as upcoming products, that's going to be found on Instagram. So give us a follow there as well. And hey, if you're looking for some Intensity Academy products, head on over. We'll have the Intensity Academy link down below in the description, as well as Farmer J's and Alpha and Omega's links down below. Wow. Okay. So if you are trying to, start a brand, grow a brand, revive a brand, I highly recommend you checking out podvision.io. And man, those guys over there will hook you up and make it so painless and seamless. You won't even know that it's even happening until you're just happening and you're having fun. So definitely reach out, let them know that I sent you. And hey, episode 30 is in the books. It has been a fun one. Can't wait to see y'all back. I'm Brandon Swear of The Swear Word. And from everything from the world of hot, this has been The Swear Word.